Hi guys, Blackswift 101 here. Today I'm going to be doing the review on the big brother to the Blackswift stick. Some of you remember my video on the Blackswift by Jim Campbell at blackswiftsticks.com. It's a great lightweight stick. You saw me do the demonstration with my punching bag last time, and it's been a great response. But now Jim and I have worked together, and we've created a sort of bigger brother, more geared towards self-defense than the Blackswift. And the name that we've come up with together is the Raven. Now, the Raven, as opposed to being a hollow carbon fiber, is now actually a solid fiberglass shaft. It's also increased a little bit in size, primarily towards the bottom. The specs are right on the website. You can absolutely go and check those out. And it's really a great compromise for someone who wants something that is very elegant and very lightweight still, but that packs a little bit more of a punch than the Blackswift did. Now the Blackswift is an excellent deterrent, certainly a great non-lethal option, and certainly capable of defending yourself against dogs and other and people too. However, certainly great for walking as well. However, to pack a little bit more punch, and perhaps more for martial arts enthusiasts like myself, those who practice Lakan, Bartitsu, and even some Japanese martial arts involving like a hanbo and things like that, the Raven might be a little bit better suited and certainly more durable than the Blackswift. Now it's coming in two different forms. Actually, as is the Blackswift now. The obvious difference here, show you right up close, is the heads. Now what Jim is using on these is actually just a turned maple ball. Now just like the Blackswift, both of these still have the leverage portion right here where it's actually squared off right at the bottom, and again, you can reference the Blackswift video for this, but what that allows you to do is when you grip it at the ball, there's more surface area that your hand is gripping right here, therefore the leverage is going to be a lot greater, rather than if it was just round, you'd kind of be all over the place. Definitely a great design feature. And on the Raven, it looks like what we're going to be doing is a black O-ring to keep the lanyard on there. I've taken mine off, my lanyard off, but the black O-ring is still there, just in case I do ever want to put it back on. So without further ado, I primarily have been using the black balled one for practice. It's got a little bit of scuff, a couple scuffs on it, but that's from a lot of practice. And honestly, a little bit of soap and water gets rid of most everything, as far as the scuffs and all that. So I'm going to be using this one today, but this is the exact same thing. The shaft is exactly the same. Again, we have the tip here. Great traction, especially outdoors. Even on hardwood floor and tile, this still offers quite a bit of traction and is very useful. The weight difference between these two, the plastic is going to be a little bit denser, so it's a little bit harder hitting. However, the wooden knob on here is absolutely beautiful. It still is quite dense. It's just it has a little bit of a lighter feel to it, but definitely, and it also makes it a lot more comfortable to use from the back, as a lot of Bartitsu enthusiasts prefer. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys really quick a quick demonstration. Obviously, first starting off a little bit lighter, and then I'm going to get into heavier and heavier contact with the punching bag here, using the Raven from Blackswift Sticks. Alright, just a couple light taps to start off. Alright, I'm using a push-pull with my wrist, so I can actually I don't really have to move my arm all that much. I basically can just have a loose grip and tighten, and that's giving me a lot of the pressure that I need here. And you can tell that it's really going to be effective just from a little tap like that. And certainly, touching any joint areas is going to be very devastating, especially with the weight of this thing. It's not heavy by any means, but it certainly packs a great punch. And with the length of it, you're talking about some serious momentum being brought up and delivered into whatever it is that you are hitting. So I'm going to go a little bit harder now. So you can tell I'm putting more of my hip into it, and certainly it's making the bag shake a little more. I'm getting some marks right in through here, and it's a little bit of paint from this scuffing on it, but nothing, no structural damage whatsoever. The fiberglass holds up remarkably well, and again, it is solid fiberglass, so it's not like it's just a cheap hollowed out stick that won't deliver the weight. It truly has the weight, and again is delivering very, very nicely. So I'm going to go a little bit harder, and I'm going to switch to the ball end for the hitting, and then we're going to go into some bayonet thrusts and hits and things like that. All right. Well, it certainly held up quite well. I was really going hard at that thing too. Come in here, and you can see we do have a couple white marks on here, but all that is actually is the logo paint on the punching bag. Little soap and water, and that'll actually clean off really nicely. Obviously, having the wooden head on there would keep any of this from getting scuffed up. The other thing I do like about the wooden knob too, by the way, is if you decide maybe you want to customize your stick a little bit, if you are good with a wood burner, for example, or know someone who is, that can certainly be done with the wooden one. Not so much obviously with the polymer, but certainly with the wooden one, your initials, or if it's a gift, certainly something like that is useful. The stick, like I said though, held up absolutely wonderfully. Even with those bayonet hits, hitting it from the side with two hands, that's putting a lot of stress on this, putting my whole body weight into that. But like I said, it held up very well. Didn't flex an awful lot either. It really just kind of came back for more. And again, that whipping action is going to just be devastating. You're putting all that force into such a tiny space. Physics will tell you, that is absolutely devastating, especially if you're going to hit anything like, joints or even the neckline, even large muscle groups. That's going to raise a giant welt and possibly just break right through the skin. So that's, definitely something to consider when you're looking at purchasing one of these. I think $57.99 is the price plus shipping on the Blackswift Sticks website. Remember, it's blackswiftsticks.com, and definitely check these out. And take into consideration the polymer as well as the wooden knob. I'll give you a quick look again at that. And the Blackswift and the Raven both come with that configuration. With the options, I should say, and both are fantastic canes to use. But even if you just need a really sturdy walking cane, this really is quite good. I have a harder surface right here, and I mean I can really bear down on that, and it starts to flex a little bit, but snaps right back into place. And yeah, I mean I'm putting all my weight on that right now, and it's just started bending. So if you are actually someone who needs a walking stick or a cane rather, for balance and just like the added ability to protect yourself with it, rather than with the aluminum canes that you'll find in a drugstore and things like that, definitely the way to go, and certainly more elegant as well. And keeping the lanyard on there allows you to put it on your wrist very easily. And I think I mentioned in the Blackswift video too that because of the leverage point here with that flat area, you can actually lean this right up against the table, and it just stays right there. provided obviously if the table is the right height. But even if it starts to slide, it's caught by that little feature, which I found to be quite useful when carrying this cane. You know, just around, being able to put it down like that is really quite nice, and again, very useful. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or Jim. Again, the contact information and all that is right on the website, blackswiftsticks.com. And thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.